This is nice. After a long day, just you and me in this warm, cozy bed. So how was your day? Hmm. Well, it's over now. We can just relax. Listen to the sea outside. And the soft sea breeze coming in through the window. Cool on our skin. Hmm. I'm not going to read tonight, I think. Oh, it's a book on shadow work. It's become quite the catchphrase lately. Yeah, you've heard it. But it's really cool. Well, my take on it is it's kind of like a repository of all the parts of yourself that society, family, or others just told you that weren't acceptable. You know, things you have to push down, things you have to hide. And it starts really, really early on in life. You know, and things get suppressed and you kind of forget about it, you know, it's just way, way down there. And the thing is that those things that are suppressed, they often surface up through reactions or emotions. And they come out in ways that are not always pretty. So yeah, shadow work is, from what I gather, just noticing these hither, noticing the heather. Heather is beautiful. And I do like to notice the heather when it comes up. But yeah, it's about noticing the hidden parts. And kind of integrating them, you know, bringing them back up to the surface and I don't know, coming to terms with them, I guess, you know, rather than judging them or, yeah. So yeah, it's not about self-criticism, which, yeah, I'm pretty good at that. But yeah, it's more about just curiosity, seeing what's lurking there inviting it up into the light and accepting it, embracing it. It's kind of tricky work, though. I think you need to really trust your intuition, trust your feelings. And learning, reading that book, learning to read. Yeah, since reading about it, it's reminded me of this Tool song called 46 and 2. You've probably heard me playing it around. And I always loved the lyrics, and I kind of had an idea about, what it's about. Just bettering yourself, I guess. Reading the lyrics now, it's even more powerful, about how, we can step into our shadow and really sort of evolve and step into a new version of oneself. Let's see. And I get the lyrics here because I just love it so much. Let's see, it goes something like, my shadows shedding skin, I've been picking scabs again. I'm down, digging through my own muscles, looking for a clue. I've been crawling on my belly, clearing out what could have been. I've been wallowing in my own confused, insecure delusions, for a piece to cross me over, or a word to guide me in. I wanna feel the changes coming down. I wanna know what I've been hiding in my shadow. My shadow. Changes coming through my shadow. Yeah, I could totally rock out in that now. But we're supposed to be resting, so I would put it on. But yeah, I love these lyrics. Music isn't too bad either. I love the imagery, My shadows shedding skin. I've been picking scabs again. As if you can't let it go. To me that kind of says he's living his life, but knows there's something more, lurking beneath the surface and picking scabs again. Yeah, it's pretty gross, but it's kind of like, yeah, I'm not gonna let this be. I need the truth, And then I'm down digging through these old muscles, my old muscles, looking for a clue. Digging through my old muscles, I kind of see that as like muscle memory. Things we do every day and just become so accustomed to them we don't even think about it anymore. So kind of bringing those things to light, and seeing, well, is there something underneath this, something I can look at. And then he says, I've been crawling on my belly, clearing out what could have been. I guess, it's tough work, this shadow work, so it can feel like crawling on your belly. Clearing out what could have been. I don't know, what do you think that means? Because I don't know, it kind of stumps me a little. It could be that clearing out what could have been. I don't know, maybe it's about regrets. What could have been, all the regrets we might have, and kind of just bringing them up to light and saying, okay, I'm done with you, regret. You serve me no purpose. And then he goes on to say, I've been wallowing in my own confused and insecure delusions. For a peace to cross me over, or a word to guide me in. Yeah, I think, I can definitely relate to that. I think we all have delusions on the daily. Kind of just how we warp reality. Waiting for a piece to cross me over, a piece of the puzzle maybe to help him move through it. And then he says, I want to feel the changes coming down. I want to know what I've been hiding in my shadow. Change is coming through my shadow. It's curiosity, right? Like he doesn't want to live this way anymore, and now is the time. Now is the time. And change is coming through my shadow. I had an experience the other week, actually. I forgot to tell you this, actually. I was standing at checkout, and this person, she came up to me and where you pay for the stuff, you have the card reader. And I kind of just stood right there, just a few feet away from the reader, maybe a couple of feet. It was right next to it. And I was kind of like, okay, what's going on here? I felt like my personal space had been invaded. This is where I put my card in, and if I need to, my pen. You're not supposed to be looking. You're not supposed to be this close. Yeah, I gave them a look. Oh yes, that look. And they just looked back to me, so I was kind of, okay, whatever. I just placed myself in between them and the card reader. But it wound me up so much. It really annoyed me. More than it should have, and then I realized that actually there was something that happened before that, just a few minutes before that, and something else before that again. And I sort of put all the pieces together and started seeing how it was a build-up of smaller stresses. And even from earlier that day. And sort of got me to this place that, okay, that person standing there was the last straw kind of thing. And no, I didn't cause a scene. I felt this, I don't know, anger, I guess, and frustration. And fortunately enough, I had the awareness at the time to feel it and ask myself, it's like, do I really want this? And is this useful? And yeah, I think looking back, anger and frustration can definitely be useful, but it's the way that we kind of deal with it. You know, anger can be a friendly reminder, you know, hey, something's not quite right here. But then we have to learn how to deal with that. And that's something, yeah, it's not always easy. So yeah, anyway, a bit later, I started doing one of the exercises like this, visualization. So I started visualizing. It's not an easy word to say. This energy that I felt. You know, the upset. And it started taking shape. And it was a bit scary. If I'm being totally honest, it was kind of like this dark hole that just manifested, and yeah, it was about the size of me, and it had these wavy things, you know, around the edge. It's kind of like, I don't know, gradually morphing into reality with this dark hole in the middle. But I looked closer at it, and it wasn't frightening at all. You know, it's like it should have been frightening, but it was just really, really powerful. Like I could feel the power coming from this energy, from this thing. It was totally unknown, but at the same time, just beautiful and, yeah, powerful. Don't know how else to describe it. So I kind of just sat with it for a while, and I started getting the feeling that it was here to help me, you know, to guide me, to protect me. And I asked it, I said, what do you need from me in order to help me? And I didn't get an answer, like, not with words anyway. But it felt like it was kind of embracing me, you know, just, I've got you kind of thing. It was a pretty powerful moment. And so later that day, on the train, on the way home from work, there was someone else there, and they were kind of like being a bit annoying, and I felt my annoyance rise. So I conjured up this thing, this energy from my shadow. I don't know what to call it. And it was kind of, okay, it felt like it was behind me, and it absorbed all this irritation that I was starting to build up. And it wasn't like it was, taking it away and like me just going, okay, I don't want to deal with it. But in that moment, it really helped me kind of not get or not have that frustration like build up in me and get to me. It's kind of like if it was taking one for the team. And it helped me kind of see things clearly, And I felt calm. I was like, okay, this is an annoying situation, but it's okay. I can deal with it. It's fine. And yeah, so I try to do that as often as I can whenever I feel annoyed or upset or frustration or any of these kind of emotions. Of course, I'm human and I forget a lot of the time, but I don't know, it feels like it's opening something up and it feels good. So yeah, if you want to read it, the book, after I'm finished, you're more than welcome to. But in the meantime, let's just cuddle here. Let's be grateful for each other. For the time we have. For this beautiful life.